We have been using my playbook for several years now. When the NCA came down with legislation that we needed a more formalized, the president was going to attest that we were doing this training, and the sexual violence training was really the kickoff. But we had already kind of started looking at doing something more formalized prior to that. But because of us needing to have the records, we started to really look into my playbook, and then we also looked at a couple of other vendors, and just weren't as happy with what they were offering. The ability, obviously, for the first year kind of experience, to be free, but also the ability to really handpick certain, different modules was important to us. So the flexibility of having it be an online module being done at their own pace was huge for us. The ability to have different modules and really expand our student athlete development was also very intriguing for us, because we're always trying to find ideas and ways to enhance the student athlete experience. We would have had to make it work, but we would have definitely had to, cut other places. Our budgets continue to get cut every year. There's definitely programming that we are no longer able to do. There's definitely other things like from, I specifically like am in compliance that I'd love to be able to purchase or do differently, but I just know it's just not an option because of our funding. And COVID has not helped that with regard to where we might be next year. So because it's legislated and from the NCA, we would get it done. But I would say that without having a good portion of our student athlete population be able to get that at no cost to us, that is a huge reason why we continue to use my playbook, and why we were able to continue to kind of use that as a base. If costs would increase, we'd have to have serious conversations. For us, if the freshman experience portion wasn't free, to see if you'd be able to cover the cost. I really appreciate the access to some of those other modules, because we do have students that are seeking those, helpful hints and seeking that extra information that otherwise we wouldn't, have, they wouldn't have at their fingertips, and we wouldn't be able to provide at the click of a button. The customer service has been, top notch. There's always communication back. If I've seen an issue, you guys bent over backwards for, any exceptions that we've needed to ask for. Purely and selfishly speaking, from a compliance perspective, I would recommend it. It is something that is easy to institute, and besides giving you rosters and then me pulling a report, it's really, I'm able to lean on you all to help me facilitate the implementation. Each university can make it their own in terms of being able to use more modules, being able to, whether it's their compliance person emailing it out, whether it's going through their coaches, their SAC reps, those type of things. There's all, different strategies to get it complete. We obviously use there's a hard deadline of being able to participate, and if you're not, then you're on the sidelines. So that has worked very well for us. But I would definitely recommend it. And kind of as we talked about, I wouldn't say that it can be the only thing that universities are doing from a programming perspective, but I do think it's a foundation that they can use as, a minimum standard to then be able to build, hopefully with resources they have on campus or in-person activities and those type of things.